Hello landlords, this is Matthew Lyman welcoming you back to the Landlord Advocates, where we help landlords become better landlords. On Friday, May 7th, Governor Andrew Cuomo of New York had one of his daily press briefings. At that time, he spoke about rent relief and landlord-tenant issues as they pertain to the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic here in New York. We put out a video that same day based upon his press briefings and what he had said as the relief that he was looking to provide to landlords and tenants. We put that out. Well, the Executive Order 202-28 had not yet made it to press. It has now. And there's more to what he had said in the press briefing as to what is on the Executive Order. The premise out there is that you cannot evict a tenant for not payment of rent until August 20th, 2020. Well, we're going to tell you that that is not correct. That you can evict a tenant for non-payment of rent when the court's open prior to August 2020. There are variables, though, that must be met in order for that to happen. And when we tell you what they are, and if the variables are met, you're going to smash the like button, you're going to smash the subscribe button, because you're going to love what we have to tell you. In the meantime, though, we're going to talk a little bit about other aspects of that executive order that are now put into law. One of them is late fees. You cannot charge late fees from March 20th to August 20th, 2020 anymore to tenants whatsoever. As we alluded to in a previous video, the late fees are such a small amount compared to what they owe in rent or compared to what the rent is in general, that it's such a small amount that let it go. You can't charge it anyway. Don't fight for restoration that you can charge late fees. Let it go. Another aspect of the Executive Order 202-28 was regarding security deposits. Prior to this, the security was going to be used for rent. Both the tenant and the landlord had to agree to that. Whether it be outside of court or as a stipulation in court, you had to agree. Now that is not the case. The decision to use security for any rent arrears, whether it be January of this year or November of last year, whatever that might be, is solely the decision of the tenant. The landlord has no say in it. You as the landlord cannot coerce your tenant to allowing you to use the security for rent, and you cannot deny the tenant from using the security for rent. So they're allowed to use it. If that is done, you should memorialize that agreement through email. Email is sufficient with the court. When we say memorialize, you want to put it down of how much do they pay as security, how much of that is used for the rent arrears. If there's any overage, will that go on other rent that's due? If there is no overage, the tenant will still have to pay the difference in rent for whatever time frame the security was used. Now, the security cannot be used for rent if the tenant is not suffering a financial hardship, is not eligible for unemployment due to the COVID-19. It cannot be used for that. We're going to elaborate later on with that because that kind of goes along with rent. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. If the security is used, the tenant has 12 equal payments spread out over a year to make that payment back to you, the landlord. Now, if they move for that time, and they move 3 months into it, you're not going to sue them in small claims court for the security. You're not going to get it. You can't sue in small claims court for security. Only damages. So you may end up having to just write it off. If the amount used for rent was $1,200, then the repayment plan would be $100 a month. It is spread out over 12 months equal payments. You as the landlord cannot say, no, I want it back in 2 months. You can't do that. It is $100 or a twelfth of the security used spread out over 12 months, and then you have to repay back to you. That payment does not have to be made, initiated, until 90 days after the utilization of the security for rent. So if they use it from June 1st, you know, all of June, all of July, all of August. They need to start paying that back to you in the end of August, beginning of September, that security back to you. In his press briefing on Friday the 7th, he said a lot of things. He had said, during these incredibly difficult and stressful times, we must protect New Yorkers who are facing financial hardship due to COVID-19. Protect New Yorkers' financial hardship? Is he referring to landlords and tenants? We know that he is, but we know as landlords, we would not be in a financial hardship if the tenants were paying the rent. Yes, we know tenants, some sincerely cannot pay, they are sincerely in a bad situation, but for those that can pay who choose not to, you are putting us in a financial hardship, not the COVID-19. You not paying are putting us in that position. He goes further on to say the majority of people in the state live paycheck to paycheck, and all of a sudden the paychecks have stopped for these individuals, but the rent bill keeps coming in. In March, we issued a moratorium on all residential and commercial evictions, and we are going to extend the moratorium until August 20th to provide some relief to those New Yorkers who are struggling. That's nice. Again, we're struggling because the rents are not getting paid. That's why we as landlords are struggling. In the press briefing, around minute marker 7 minutes 47 seconds is when he talked a lot about the rent relief, tenant relief, moratorium, eviction moratorium. That's when he talked about it. He alluded to the federal government paying a one-time $600 unemployment benefit to those on unemployment. He mentioned a one-time $600 payment. We alluded to in our video that we released to all of you on Friday the 7th, was that his advisors got it wrong. Wherever he got that information from, he got it wrong. It is $600 per week. Presumably it started April 1st through the end of July. That is 4 months. 4 weeks a month, that is 16 weeks of payments. That adds up to $9,600 in benefits provided and a $600 a week payment from the federal government to those on unemployment. That is $9,000 more than the government believes that they were getting. In that case there, those who are receiving unemployment are not suffering. They should be able to pay their rent, because for many of them, they're making more money now than when they were working. So if they were able to pay when they were working, they should easily be able to pay the rent now. If you look at the payments through July 31st, 2020, and you have rents that are nominal rents. We here what I'm saying have nominal rents. They're not that high. New York City, we know that rents are high. They are what they are. But if you look at just the $600 a week that those on unemployment are getting, it comes out to $9,600 in that 4-month time frame. That would equate to $2,250 a month in rent if they use the money exclusively that they got from the federal government to pay the rent. The rents in upstate New York are not $2,250 a month. They average $700, $800, $900, maybe $1,500 at most. So that one individual collecting that unemployment $600 additional benefit should easily be able to pay the rent. We are asking you, Governor, and in the description below is his website, his phone number, and the press briefing that he had on May 7th is listed below in the description. It's down there, look at it, call the governor's office up, implore him, beg him, ask him, please, Governor, remove the unemployment aspect that they are eligible for or that they are collecting. Remove that from the executive order as a hardship because they're making more money now than they were when they were working. He goes on to say the actual verbiage, the actual wording of the executive order as it pertains to this whole thing is this. There should be no initiation of a proceeding or enforcement of either an eviction of any residential or commercial tenant for non-payment of rent, by someone that is eligible for unemployment insurance or benefits under state or federal law, or otherwise facing financial hardship during the COVID-19 pandemic for a period of 60 days starting June 20th, 2020. That's through the end of August. Now here's where we got you. Here's where you're gonna hit that subscribe button. Here's where you're gonna hit that like button. Here's where you're gonna love this channel. You can evict tenants for non-payment of rent prior to that if the courts open up. But here are the variables. You have to be able to show the court through information and belief that the tenants were actually working during this time frame. But they just chose not to pay the rent to you. That is not a hardship. If you are still working during this crisis, as you were prior, you are not facing a financial hardship. You are able to pay the rent, so pay it. Landlords, you have to be able to show the court that they were not working, or at least upon information and belief that they were working throughout this time frame full-time, and that they were not suffering under the COVID-19, the coronavirus, this pandemic, suffering financially to the point where they could not pay the rent because they're working full-time. They're able to pay the rent. You put that in your legal documents, and I will tell you, you should hire a lawyer to help you through this. Our team of legal experts, which includes lawyers, have reviewed this information and have deemed it accurate and correct. But you should hire a lawyer through this process, because when you get into court, it's uncharted waters that the experts like myself have navigated, studied, read, analyzed, thought of, talked about, and dissected to get to that point that you can still serve notices on these tenants. You can still take them to court for non-payment of rent. Now that adds to serving of notices. You can still serve all the notices. Here in New York, it's called a rent reminder, a 14-day. That's based upon non-payment of rent. That you can still serve. Can't get a court date yet because the courts are not open. If you choose to get a court date for non-payment of rent, like I said before, make sure in your heart of hearts that you know that the tenant is working full-time. Because if they're not, the court can very well dismiss your case. Not saying that they will, but they could. The other type of an eviction here in New York is a holdover. That requires the service of a 30, 60, or 90-day notice, depending upon the term of the lease or the duration of tenancy. Those can still be served. Those evictions are going through. This COVID-19 crisis, coronavirus crisis that we're all facing, has no relevance to those types of an eviction. Those notices are going to be served. Those notices can be done. It's just a matter of when will the courts open up. Verify your information. Verify that the tenants are working to the best of your ability. Don't go into court thinking that, oh, I'm going to say that they're working when they're not. Don't do that. Be honest with yourself, because then that will help you in court to vacate that tenant from the property. A lot of information we just gave you, I know that, but we're happy to give it to you because we really care. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like, hit the notification. There's already a number of videos on our channel. There's a lot more to come. Landlords, we're with you. We're here for you. We're going to fight this fight together with you. Until then, take care.